Hello, my name is Trent Mongero, head baseball coach of 20 plus years, former professional player, and author of Winning Baseball book and DVD instructional series. I'm here today to talk to you about the Insider Bat, a product that I greatly believe in. There's no such thing as a magic tool when it comes to hitting, but if there was one, this will be about as close to it as you can get. I'd like to talk to you about the unique features of this great product. On the Insider Bat, the first thing that you'll notice is a flat handle. The flat handle has two main benefits. The first one is it's going to put me and force my hands into close to a proper grip where I'm near my door knocking knuckles being lined up. Of course, they don't have to be perfect, but being flat, it prevents me from really getting into a bad situation. Secondly, the flat handle promotes a really good contact position with my hands, a palm up, palm down position. So if you notice, as I work into my stance and come down to contact, you'll see if I release my hands, I'm in a palm up, palm down position, and that's going to put me in that strong position at contact, that squared up position. As we talked about the flat handle, if you move up to the top here, you see a trigger device. This device can be used, or a hitter may choose not to use it. We can keep our hands below the trigger in a typical standard grip, or if we choose, we can interlock any finger above the trigger to get into a comfortable position. But ideally, the trigger is used more for single arm drills. Okay, if we're doing a front arm drill, back arm drill, single arm, it allows a little bit more control of the device as we work through the drill. The next unique feature that you see in the Insider Bat is the bend in the shaft. The bend in the shaft forces me to get into a position at contact where my hands are in front of the ball. This is ideal for squared up contact, okay? But it also provides feedback. If I were to roll over the baseball, cut underneath the baseball, or swing around the baseball, this shaft is going to give me the necessary feedback to make the needed adjustments to get back into that proper position so that I get good results. Another of the many unique features of the Insider Bat is the flat paddle at the end of the device. The flat paddle is provided to give me feedback as to whether I'm truly squaring the ball up at contact or not. And since we use softer baseballs with this device, when I do square a ball up properly with good bat speed, it is going to create a high-pitched sound or pop. If I do it incorrectly with a rollover, a cut, or swinging around the baseball, I get a poor result and a poor sound. As I come into my stance and I put myself in a position to attack this pitch down the middle, you can see as I work down to the baseball with release of the bat head at contact, if I square the ball up, the flat paddle is going to catch the inside part of the ball and I'm going to get solid contact. If I were to roll over, cut under, or hit around the ball, I'm not going to get a good result and I'm not going to get a good sound. So the unique feature of this flat head is a tremendous benefit to hitters of all ages to force them to get a good result. They have to make adjustments. The only significant difference you can find in an Insider Bat is the length of the two handles. And we have two choices. The first one is a 6-inch handle, which is typically used for the 12 and under hitters. And we have a 7-inch handle, which is a little bit longer for bigger hands, which would typically be used for your 13 and up hitters. Because this device was created to be used with two hand or one hand, it is very light. And this is going to promote the ability to do numerous repetitions without getting tired. It's also used, the same device, for right-handed hitters and left-handed hitters, as well as baseball players and softball players. So this singular device allows hitters of all types to get the work they need to become champions. The Insider Bat is a very sturdy device. However, it is not designed to hit actual baseballs, for that will damage the paddle and shorten the life of the product. What it is designed to hit are numerous types of softer balls. As you see here, we have a softball example of a wiffle ball. Great product to hit. The next product, of course, is wiffle ball as well, and that is baseball size. The third product is a tennis ball. If you poke a hole in a tennis ball and deflate it, it even works better. But either way, it works fine with the Insider bat. When a person of any age begins to use the Insider bat for the first time, there may be a certain element of getting used to the product so that they can get the proper results. I mean, it does feel initially a little different than putting a round bat in your hand. Before you even implement any drills, you may just want to come down a few times in slow motion to make sure that you have proper grip, ensure the proper grip, and ensure a proper contact point. So looking down at the baseball, okay, when I come into my stance and load, if I come down in slow motion, you know, I just want to make sure that the young person understands what it feels like to get into that position. Once they can do that, we can speed things up. Well, we're actually going to take a full hack, but we're going to freeze on contact, and then they can check. They can check their body alignment, they can check that their hands are in the proper contact point, they can check, you know, a lot of things. So they're going to load, come down, and freeze on contact, and right there, I can check myself. All right, is my elbow too far tucked? Is it flaring out? Are my hands too far away from my body? Do I have slight flexion in my front arm? Palm up, palm down. Do I have power L in my backside? Weight on my back inside toe. Front foot fairly closed to 45 degrees max. You know, head on contact. I also need to check my body eyes. My body eyes are my belly button and the front of my back knee. On contact, my body eyes should see contact. Okay, and I can check that that's the case, that I'm not spun off with my lower half. And I can also check to make sure that my shoulder is right behind contact, where it should be. Okay, because this is where I'm creating the most leverage, and I'm behind the baseball on contact, so everything is perfect. So I took a full hack, froze on contact, and that's going to expose some weaknesses in body alignment. Great little drill to implement with the Insider bat. The drill that we're talking about here can be used with any pitch location depending on how you set the target up. You can use a pizza pan. If you don't have any targets at all, you can use another tee. For instance, I can bring another tee in, set a ball on the top of the tee, and that becomes my target. And you can see that I'm using my cheat method to set up for a pitch down the middle. And what we would do here is we're just going to get feedback. As we work to this middle pitch, we should get a line drive middle result. Hence, target practice. So if I wanted to work away, I would go middle upper thigh, relationship to the tee. I just adjusted to the tee as opposing to adjust the tee to me. Either way works as long as I create the right relationship. We would slide the target off to the right, to the backside gap, and I should be pelting it with line drives. Inner third, 45 degrees. Off the front, we slide the target to the pull side gap, and I should be consistently 8 or 9, possibly 10 out of 10 times able to hit that target if I'm doing things correctly. Some of the common flaws seen in the actual swing with a full-size bat are the same flaws that we see when people use the Insider bat. However, the feedback is so dramatic that they are going to force themselves to make adjustments to get a good result. I don't have my door knock and knuckles perfectly lined up like some people teach, and that's a good reference point to talk about door knock and knuckles, but typically our hands are going to be rotated just a little bit more. What we're worried about is getting a real over rotation in our hands, which is going to create an improper contact point. But what we have, if we have a bad grip, when I get down to contact of the baseball, is I'm going to be in a really weak position, and I'm going to have the tendency to roll over the top. even with a good grip, if I don't have a proper understanding of what a good contact looks like and feels like, I may have the tendency to throw that top hand just a little bit too early and get a rollover effect where I'm catching the top part of the baseball. So an improper grip can cause a rollover, or a proper grip with a person who doesn't understand how their hands work can cause that flaw as well.